We saw it in his 33rd, back on the lead lap. But as fast as he's been this race, it's going to be interesting to watch him and see how he comes back up there, and if they can put themselves in position with only half the race to go.
And back there with him, Denny Hamlin, who brought out the caution but stayed on the lead lap. Ryan Newman, been good today, led more laps than anyone. He goes to the inside of Joey Logano.
Oh, Mark is in the middle again. That's the second time he's been in the middle coming off of turn 2.
That was Clint Boyer he was racing with. Haven't heard a lot from Clint today, but he's back in the top 15 and trying to make his way to the top 10.
Mark and Casey made a little bit of contact.
Menard, Montoya, and Junior made it 3 wide off of turn 4.
Pretty good. They could do that on these tires. I'm not sure they could have done it 15-20 laps into it, but they gave each other plenty of room. As you saw, Juan gave Junior plenty of room, and Menard gave Juan tons of room.
And this battle right here for the 15th
taking
position.
A look at Vickers. Burton's been there all day long.
And this for second. Burton set him up, exiting turn 4, and looks like he's going to finish the job through turns 1 and 2. The new runner-up, Jeff Burton, in the 31. You know who's starting to work their way back to the front? Stewart and Newman. Who stayed in those left side tires for a long time, and now with those 4 fresh tires they got a couple of pit stops ago, starting to cycle back to the front.
At 31, when he went down in 3, it got away from him a little bit and worked up the racetrack about a lane. I thought Vickers was going to drive back on.
It looked like he could have. I think he gave him a break there.
Yeah, it just got a little bit loose, but we've seen that with the 31. The first few laps, his car is just a little bit freer, and he, by being able to pass people this early in a run, it's got to give him a little bit of confidence that when this thing comes in like it has been, he's going to be able to run that 22 down.
7 of the top 10 drivers right now in the race have not won a race this season. Tony Stewart started on the front row. He's led 25 laps, and things starting to come to driver 14 as we close on the final 100 circuits here this afternoon. Carl Edwards looking to get back in the top 3 after starting 15th today. This is he and Brian Vickers for that 3rd spot. I'll tell you, David Rudeman right behind him has been impressive today. Can't say enough how David Reagan has been able to come from a starting position outside the top 25. And look at Roush Fenway as an organization. 3 drivers inside the top 10. Greg Biffle with new crew chief Matt Pusha back in the 10th spot.
And most of these guys got here on strategy, and they played the yellows right. They had good cars. I mean, like I said, there's 15 guys that are running with 0.2 of a second each lap. But these guys put themselves in position. You look at like Jeff Gordon's deal. I'm not sure, Kyle, he's got enough time to get back into position because he's got to pass a lot of cars.
He's got to pass a lot of cars that have had time to adjust and get better than when he passed them the first time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, his car was incredible. The way he cut through there, the first swipe that he made up there.
One advantage Gordon may have, his last pit stop coming at lap 171. Just about everybody running inside the top 15 last pitted at lap 145. So that difference of 25 laps or so could make a difference depending on how things play out with green and caution flags from here on out. There you see Gordon inside of Hamlin. Hamlin brought out that last caution. Gordon 25th and trying to go around McMurray for 24th.
Great camera angles.
Yeah. You can see how hard it is when Jeff rolls in the corner here and he rolls all the way up past the 1 car, or at least door to door. But on that inside, when you go to the gas, sometimes it's harder to get that run up off the corner.
Because that right front doesn't want to stick. If you get on the gas, all it does is it'll slide up and you'll hit the car that's on the outside of you.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, Jeff. Oh,
that's Mark Martin going around right in front of everybody. Left rear tire.
Gone.
How about our 7th caution of the day?
That was going to be wicked right there because Jeff had already committed to go low as he got down in the corner to pass another car.
Martin was running in the 14th position.
Oh, you see the smoke right there. It's already coming apart.
Yeah, he was just trying to nurse it. Got to the bottom of the racetrack and it just gave way.
Yeah, he had already slowed down, was trying to get out of the way, trying to get down to the bottom of the racetrack and let him go around him.
We may have a little. There's Mark in the center, and I was telling you, he was in the middle quite a bit. These guys were bouncing off each other a lot, whether that cut the left rear or not. This was the first time. Actually, about a lap later, he was in the middle again and made some contact.
Oh, because he's got no brake in that left rear. There's no tire to stop the thing. Mark just got in there way too hot for a car on 3 tires. But you saw the way it just slid that way. Now he's struggling to even get it back in his pit box.
Martin making his pit stop, and you look up to turn 4. Jeff Burton going to come in. He gives up. He's a runner-up position to come down pit road, Chris.
Yeah, he's just going to do 2 tires on the stop. Jeff Burton very happy with the car, but they're thinking they could potentially be having an electrical issue like we heard with the 24 and the 5.
Joey Logano is in. He's going to take 4 tires and fuel. This will set them up for just right side tires and fuel a little later on. They're going to make a slight chassis adjustment. He lost a front end grip on this car, Matt.
This is when
Reagan's service already complete. They took left side tires this time on the previous stop. Back on 145, they took 2 tires. The car a little free on that run.
Under our 7th caution of the day, drivers that pitted inside the top 12, David Reagan, Jeff Burton, Joey Logano, Clint Boyer, and Greg Biffle. Top 15 cars on the restart all stayed out under this caution. Lap 188 put on the scoreboard as the green flag goes back in the air with Kurt Busch and Jeff Burton going at it on the front row. Excuse me, Kurt Busch and Carl Edwards on the front row.
There you go.
Jeff Burton's won here in that 99 car before, though.
Yeah, he has. He dominated in that 99 car.
Carl ain't giving up.
For all you Gordon fans on this restart, he's worked his way back to 16th. He's 34 on the last restart, 16th on this restart.
That last caution helped those guys a ton as far as track position.
A ton.
Brad Keselowski back on track as well, but he's 43 laps down after cutting a tire and hitting the wall, scored in 36th.
3 wide. Those guys got fouled up coming off 2, and Junior had a really good run coming off of 2. Passed about 2 or 3 cars back there.
Talked about Carl Edwards on the restart. There goes Tony Stewart around him for the runner-up position. Ryan Newman right back there, not too far as well.
Now Tony and those guys have worked their way back to the front to be able to capitalize on track position.
Casey Kane, Juan Pablo Montoya, little contact there off the corner, and look at Dale Jr. right behind. He's back in the top 10.
Yeah, watch 88 will just pull out and pass both these guys. Actually, probably all 3 of these guys here.
Clear. 88 coming quick inside.
Told you Ryan Newman starting to circle back to the front. Working on Brian Vickers here for 4th. And the gap closing at the front as well as Newman picks up a position. His Stewart Haas teammate and owner, the boss, Tony Stewart, starting to smell the race lead once again. He has closed down the advantage that Kurt Busch enjoyed. Smoke has already led 25 laps today.
He really makes good time through the center of the corner.
Yeah, he was the other car that I thought was the best here.
Really rolls good. You watch him roll in right here and right here. You see him pick up about a half a car length on Kurt right there. Gets it pointed straight and can get back to the gas quick.
Talked about Ryan Newman starting to put things together for the late stages of the race, Marty.
Yeah, Adam, he's trying to get back to the front and using his teammate Tony Stewart, as you guys mentioned, with a couple of picks to get back to the front. The problem with Ryan all day long has been the fact that in the battle for the lead. How about that, Adam?
Right on cue, his teammate Tony Stewart to the inside of Kurt Busch. No problems completing the pass, Marty. Juan Pablo Montoya, somebody's pre-race pick to win this race. Was that you, Penny, that picked him?
I think I chose the 42 today as my is my pick when you guys were laughing at me.
There's the other pick.
Right behind you. Yeah, that's your pick. Look, I'm not catching up to you guys. I'm just trying to get. You guys get the Pizza Hut pizza. I get the box. Okay, that's all I care about.
But you know, we had a period of this race where you thought, no way, are Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson going to be in contention? They both started outside the top 25, but they played the strategy game and in the top 10.
We never said that.
Well,
did we say that?
I don't think we said that.
Hey, guys,
I don't know who said that.
I do want to add on Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88. We've talked about 2 tires, 4 tires. Steve Letarte and Dale Earnhardt Jr., they've made 5 trips to pit road. It's been 4 tires every time they've come to pit road. He pitted back on lap 162. He's one of the drivers, just like Jimmy Johnson, that you're looking at in that 48, as well as Montoya. They can make the end of this race on 1 more stop, unlike our top 6 drivers right now.
Yeah, we have to figure out. Oh, yeah, we have to figure out who's got the best left sides on their cars right now.
That 88 took off right there in the middle of the corner. If you guys on that shot, he goes in the corner, and as he turns it, it rotates so fast that he had to chase it up the racetrack, which allowed the 78 to get a run on him in the middle of the corner. Or this 47, 48, excuse me. Where's my head?
You'll get there.
62, 31. Hut,
bingo.
Jimmy Johnson up to 8th now. At one point he was a lap down, took the wave around at lap 147. Everybody chasing Tony Stewart, who leads 2nd place Kurt Busch by 0.8 of a second here in Loudon. Tony Stewart, the race leader at New Hampshire, with 99 laps to go. And that means it's time to get down to it with strategy. So let's go through the field, presented by McDonald's, and we start with Matt Yoakum.
Been a very good weekend for Tony Stewart in the 14 camp. On Saturday, they were P1 in the first practice. They migrated back to that setup because they were too free in the second, and he has been pretty much solid all day. His car a little tight through the center. They've made some small tweaks throughout the day, but his car very good on forward bite. Meanwhile, the Dodge guys, led by the Penske camp, Kurt Busch and Brad Keselowski, we've seen this year they've done so well saving fuel. Right now, they're calculating their fuel mileage to see exactly how long, Marty, they can keep the 22 out there and maybe make it 1 more stop.
Carl Edwards trying to make a pass on Kurt Busch on that last stop for Edwards. They did take on just 2 tires, and they have to pit here in about 10 laps. About lap 215 is when we can expect Carl Edwards to come down pit road. He said it just takes too long for the car to come in. He wants it to be better on the initial start. Behind him, Ryan Newman with 4 tires on the last stop. They too will pit around lap 215. Car too loose, too early in the run for Ryan. Chris?
Well, Brian Vickers, 26th in the championship. He's only got 1 top 5 this year, so they're having a great day. He's one of the few cars in my area that has been saying he's been dealing with a tight car most of the day. They did a wedge adjustment early. That didn't work. They've tried a track bar, and that seems to be working much better. They're going to try and stretch their fuel to lap 226. David Ruderman in the 00. They thought they unloaded really strong. However, the car has been loose most of the day. They're running up in the top 10, but he's still complaining that car is loose, loose, loose. Ralph?
Well, Jimmy Johnson said he had a better race car than a qualifying car. He's got pretty good strategy, too, going right now. He's running up in 7th. He said they want to put themselves in pressure situations to get this team ready for the chase. That's what they're doing. They topped the fuel off on lap 166, and they are now ready to go, Matt.
Ralph, the 24 team, what a recovery. They just moved up to the 8th position. Jeff says that he's had to turn off a couple fans in the race car to try to save volts, and he is getting warm because he's had to turn off some of his driver aids, but what a nice recovery. Ralph?
Well, the 42 is saving as well, Matt. One Pablo Montoya not saving volts. He's saving fuel in that car. They will not change left side tires anymore on that car. Just some fuel and right side tires like the race, Marty. Ralph, terrific second half of the race for Dale Earnhardt Jr. The first half, not so much, but running 10th right now. One of his last radio transmissions, he said, I like it, I just can't drive it the way I want to yet. Steve Letarte said, yet, we'll get you there. And as Larry, as you mentioned moments ago, they've taken 4 tires every time down pit road. Do they risk it and take 2 on this final stop of the day? And remember, they can go till about lap 240 before they have to stop.
Yeah, I think everybody's done changing 4 tires. I want to talk about the Richard Childress Racing Group as we see 2 of them battle side by side. Kevin Harvick in the 29, Clint Boyer in the 33. Kevin Harvick qualified 18th on lap 165. He did fuel only. He's good to go on 1 more stop. But Clint Boyer, his teammate who just moved up to the 13th position, qualified 12th, making his 200th career start here. He can go all the way to lap 255. And how about the 3rd RCR man coming into play right